The wise man does at once what the fool does finally. Niccolò Machiavelli. Have you ever noticed how silence unsettles people? Not just the absence of words, but the weight of someone who refuses to fill the air. The pause that stretches too long. The quiet stare that forces you to face yourself. Most people fear silence. They rush to cover it with small talk, with nervous laughter, with anything that distracts them from the raw tension of simply being present. But what if I told you, silence isn't weakness? What if silence, in the right hands, is the sharpest weapon in psychology? This is not about being passive. This is about something deeper, about the invisible power that silence gives you. Power that can change the way people see you. Power that can turn a room in your direction without a single word. And yet, hardly anyone dares to use it. Think about the last conversation you had. Did you really listen? Or were you simply waiting for your turn to speak? Did you let the silence stretch long enough for truth to surface? Or did you rush to fill it because it felt unbearable? Here's the strange paradox. The quieter you become, the more people reveal themselves. And the more they reveal, the more power you quietly hold. Carl Jung once wrote that what you resist not only persists, but grows stronger. The same is true with silence. The more people try to resist it, the more uncomfortable they become. And in that discomfort, masks start to fall. Truths slip out. You see who they really are. But let's go even deeper. Why does silence feel so threatening? Why does it carry so much weight? Psychologists have found that silence activates the brain's threat response. Our minds are wired to interpret long pauses as signals of tension, conflict, or danger. In the animal kingdom, silence often precedes an attack. The forest goes quiet before the predator strikes. The absence of sound is nature's alarm bell. So when you remain silent, when you don't rush to fill the air, people instinctively feel the weight of it. They lean forward. They question themselves. They give you their attention. And here's the twist. Silence is not just about others. It's also about you. It reveals whether you can sit with yourself, whether you can resist the urge to prove, to justify, to explain. Silence is emotional discipline. It's the difference between reacting and observing, between being controlled and being in control. I once heard a story about a negotiator who worked in high-stakes hostage situations. He said his most powerful tool wasn't threats or even persuasion. It was silence. After asking a difficult question, he would simply wait. He knew that silence was unbearable, and people would rush to fill it. Sometimes with the truth they were hiding, sometimes with a confession, and almost always with a crack in their armor. The truth is, silence terrifies people because it exposes them. But the one who can hold silence becomes untouchable. Imagine walking into a room and not needing to dominate the conversation, not needing to explain yourself, just being fully present. Your stillness alone creates gravity. Others orbit around it. Now, let me ask you this. How many times have you weakened yourself by over-explaining? By talking too much? By giving away your thoughts before they've even formed? Every word can dilute your presence. Every unnecessary sentence chips away at your power. Silence is restraint, and restraint is respect for yourself and for the weight of your words. But let's not romanticize silence. It can be dangerous in the wrong way too. Silence can be used to punish, to manipulate, to control. Think of the silent treatment in toxic relationships. Think of the way institutions remain silent in the face of injustice. Silence can protect the oppressor as much as it empowers the wise. So the question becomes, how do you wield silence? Do you use it as a shield or as a weapon? Do you sit in it to reflect or to avoid? The danger lies not in silence itself, but in what it reveals. Nietzsche once said, "That which is profound loves the mask." Silence is one of those masks. When you master it, you can choose when to lift it and when to let people drown in their own noise. And here's the most surprising part. Silence isn't empty. It's full of potential, full of possibility. Every silence is a choice, a pause that could lead to anything, a revelation, a confession, a connection. The absence of words allows meaning to emerge. Think about therapy. The best therapists don't fill every second with advice. They know the patient's truth comes in the pauses, in the moments of discomfort. The silence does the work. Or think of music. What gives rhythm its power? The notes, yes, but also the rests. The silence between the sounds is what makes the melody alive. In life, too, silence creates contrast. It makes your words matter more. If you are always talking, always explaining, then nothing you say carries weight. But when you choose silence, when you wait, the few words you do speak land like thunder. There is a reason the most dangerous people rarely raise their voices. They don't need to. So maybe silence isn't about saying less. Maybe it's about saying only what matters. Let's go back to the room. You enter. People are talking, laughing, filling the space with noise. But you don't rush to join in. You observe. You listen. And when you do speak, people notice. They lean in. Because your silence before has given weight to your presence now. And slowly, without even trying, you become the most dangerous person in the room. Not because you're loud, not because you're feared, but because you carry something most people don't: command of yourself. And that is the essence of power. So the next time you feel the urge to fill the silence, stop. Sit with it. Let it stretch. Watch how the world shifts around you. Because silence is not emptiness. Silence is presence. And presence is the most dangerous thing you can bring into any room.